on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing on 2nd down now, Minshew. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here we go. Hey, no. Anyway.
Now a handoff looking right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And now it's 2nd down.
Ready. 60 or. Here we go, team. All day, defense, all day.
On 2nd down, Minshew. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
1st down, Jaguars.
Let's go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Leonard Fournette. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Minshew throwing on 3rd down. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 22-yard line. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Looking to throw it. Minshew. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left, early in November, but they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
3rd and 5.
Set, ready. 15 on it. 15 on it. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go. Mike, 48. Here we go.
Jackson from the shotgun. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. On 2nd and 7, Minshew. And his throw is incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
He got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Steps up, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Watch the pass. Peek it. 25, check 25.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Let's go. 10, let's go. It's game situation. Let's go. 48 for Mike. Oh, yeah.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
He'll have a first down and more past the 20. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
50, play. Let's go, D.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Minshew. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After the interception, here's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. To throw is Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Fournette. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
The tackle made by Michael Pierce. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
You don't want no problems with me.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Now Minshew. Looking deep downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. This time, Jackson will throw it. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the 1st half.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Fielded at about the 28. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. A first update now from Cleveland. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Mostert. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. From the 44, Minshew. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. From the 30 on 2nd down, Jackson. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mostert. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this inside the 40. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now they'll pitch it out here. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Check it back.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Got it. 44's the mic. 44's the mic. There's a party now.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. So there you go, partner. How about that?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That will tie the all-time record set by Matt Prater of the Broncos back in 2013.
And you know, when Prater hit from 64, that was like breaking DiMaggio's streak or breaking the 4-minute mile of Bannister. Tom Dempsey, 63, that was a legendary number. So to top that here, even if it just ties the record, pretty darn awesome.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Dancing to his left. Goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
That's to his running back, complete.
The 3rd down pass.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Ready? Kill. General West. Get it.
On 4th down, Minshew. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Tucker's kick is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down where they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
No.
Here's Mostert. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And it would appear he's going to be short of a 1st down as he stopped right around the 29. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Let's go, boy. First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Ingram again. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
You gonna see me and you like me.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And it's fielded at the 34. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the fourth now in Minneapolis. And the Vikings opening up their lead. They've scored again. If they hold on, a victory there would be their third of the year. A very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Jaguars.
Leo! Now.
Darren Lee there to get him down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From the 44, Minshew. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 30. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Ravens, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.